Hey, we're back.
Hey.
Yes, we are.
Hello.
How's everybody doing?
Peachy
All right.
keen, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I've just had this whole what are we doing on my mind for felt like a week. What's our next step?
Yeah.
Lost sleep over it. I haven't slept
What's it all
since.
mean?
Big milestone episode here, episode 20. So,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Woo!
wouldn't it be nice to figure out what you're supposed to do next on episode 20 instead of waiting for 2 or 3 more episodes?
We just did it to keep our listeners and viewers on, the edge of their seats. So
It was a riveting episode.
It was
Right.
They
suspenseful.
climbed the hill and they climbed back down.
We were just
Felt
padding.
around.
Jerry doesn't have a lot of material for this campaign, so we're just, trying to stretch it out for him.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the last 10 episodes at least. So. No, you guys sort of, ran off my script. I had some stuff prepared for it. So we're kind of at this weird spot where, we talked a little bit after last episode, and I didn't want to give away too much, but I think it's fair to say, the way that I had planned for you to go originally, there would be some help along that path to aid you at this point that you kind of jumped ahead to. But I will say you can figure out what to do next from this point, but, you're not going to have as much help. So that's kind of where we left it when we talked after last episode. Again, I'm trying to preserve the integrity of the whole game and storyline as it unfolds. Willing to roll with whatever you guys decide, but I figured at this point, since we struggled last episode and the ideas were a little in short supply, that maybe I would give you a little help there. So
It was the sign that threw us off. If the sign would have been something less deep, like there are no answers up here.
yeah.
Turn
Move
around,
along,
go back
move
down.
Listen to Graham.
The answer is in Old Town, in the flesh markets.
So you guys still have a choice, and I don't know if you've had time to think about it or had any epiphanies while you were waiting, but we should probably let Alar get his recap in. And
I was about to say, Jerry,
we don't want to miss that part, but the even bigger
it's the
issue
best part of every episode.
thanking all of our listeners, thanking all of our Patreon patrons, everything you do for us to keep us going, to keep us excited about coming back and putting on the show for you. Just can't thank you enough. So we have to work that in there. And Alar, how about you give us a recap?
Okay.
If you can do it without crying, I should
I
say.
think Alar and the wild geese set off the next morning to look for a cleric to lift Kragar's curses. The arbiters of Caltron had no clergy left alive, but suggested tracking down the priest of Olindar, god of secrets. The group trekked up and down 3,260 steps of Bander's Leap to no avail. Would a night atop the cliff lead to clarity? Your guess is as good as ours on Dungeon Patrol.
We maybe should have taken a poll of listeners on Facebook to see.
What to do?
Yeah, we need
Yeah.
help. We need
Yeah.
some help.
Well, sometimes when you're stuck in the mud, you just need a good push.
Right. So, what have we decided to do? You are on Bander's
Graham's
Leap.
house. No?
So I think that
No.
without any meta information, Kragar is thinking we should go just camp up in that house at the top and see if something happens. And if not, then we just give up.
Yep, that's what
Yep.
I thought we would do. Spend the
Okay.
night with the howling wind and
Go through some of
driving
those
sleet.
messages. We gotta go through some of those messages. Yeah.
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 Read the messages. Yeah.
All right. So you guys trek back up to the top of Bander's Leap. and you enter the little 3-roomed shelter at the top and set up camp for the night. And I will say, I don't know if you guys want to set watches or anything, or if you feel pretty secure, but it's quite a bit of a wait. And I'm just going to roll to see if anyone else, for whatever reason, treks their way up there. No. So you see and hear no other souls during your wait at the top of the hill. And you manage, if you want, to experience a relatively peaceful night. Just the sound of the wind. You've got shelter on 3 sides. So it's not the most comfortable night's sleep. Definitely not as comfortable as Graham's house. But
That's what I was saying.
yeah, you're
Wow.
kept out of the rain for the most part, and it's deep enough that you can, stay dry and relatively warm.
Yeah, I'll just bundle up in my sleeping bag and blanket and probably.
And your cloak that you can't take off.
Yeah.
Well, have we? Is that true? Can he not take it off?
We don't know what it's cursed with.
I mean, he would.
Yeah.
He would probably be finding that out because he would not be sleeping in his cloak. I wouldn't.
Yeah. If you're not sleeping in it, you are able to take it off.
Oh,
Good.
Yeah.
Throw it off the cliff.
Well, he doesn't know it's cursed.
Just waiting
I-
for that
well-
curse to kick in.
I mean, because it's got this gold, clasp, the ruby encrusted clasp.
Mm-hmm.
So he actually might roll up the red cloak and put his black one back on and put that clasp on the black one.
great.
Yeah.
Good planning. Good thought, Krieger.
The clasp doesn't seem to want to be removed. It's attached to it,
Hmm.
and you just, for whatever reason, can't seem to get it off of the cloak.
Okay.
So Krieger's fiddling with his cloak. You guys are trying to figure out what he's doing. Anybody doing anything else during your long afternoon and evening?
Or reading the
vacation?
messages from
Yeah, I'm
the.
reading the messages.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we can play cards too. I have a deck of cards.
Okay. Deck of cards. I will try, if you have your roll 20 open,
Yes.
I will try to let's see if I can share that with you. Are you able to see the
Mhm.
messages? Okay.
What
Great.
the heck is that?
More codes.
And this you're adding to our journal, right?
So there were 3 encoded messages. And to you, yes, it just looks like a bunch of random letters. The first and the third one messages are a little bit longer than the others, but are longer than the second one, but hard to make sense of.
Cool.
You guys love puzzles, I can tell.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm not wasting any more brain cells on that one right
Yeah.
now.
That is smart. Probably the smartest thing you guys have done for the last episode and some.
Thanks, Jerry. Thanks. Thank
Sorry.
you.
Yes.
At what point does the truth come out?
Uh-huh.
So
So we'll just probably stare at them for as long as we can,
until
Hey,
they
we've
start
got
to
all night.
make
Right.
sense.
and maybe if I fall asleep, I'll wake up with them all figured out in my head. I'll dream about them.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys go through the night and
Yeah,
wake
Jerry,
up-
that's a racial trait I have that I can instantly solve any codes.
Well, my knowledge of the rules, you might be able to have sold that to me. So, anyway, you make it through the night unscathed, relatively warm, and dry. No one else comes up to the top of the hill, and dawn arrives. It's, it's hard to tell some days, and Vadrigan and, winter kind of just a very subtle lightening of the sky off to the east. And, but you had a decent night's rest, and now it's a new day. And Krager's one step closer to being a rat.
Just kind of mark that off there.
Cool.
A were-rat,
Where rat?
not a rat.
Not a rat. Not all the time.
Well, I mean, so we had our rest, and I don't know that we feel any wiser.
Nope.
I will kind of step out and look around and see signs of anything in the night, or
Are you hit over the head by knowledge?
yeah,
Wham.
knowledge in the shape of a shovel.
No, nothing really.
Let's head down.
Nothing seems to be any different. None of the codes that you received are suddenly making sense to you.
Well, except to me.
Yeah, except to you because of your racial trait.
My special racial
Wink,
trait.
wink. And no one else comes up to the top of the hill.
Is this a sub-racial thing from Half Elf?
Yeah. It's an Ashwood elf thing,
Yeah, it's a
but only
specialty.
for people who are
Right.
bards. So,
Her name Alar.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna run into something anyways on the way down, if we do, right? If someone's coming up.
Was it Lee?
Yeah, you can, I guess, assume that.
I'm done with this leap. This is a silly place, anyways.
Yeah.
All right, down we go.
Down you go. Back down the hill. Are you stopping anywhere? Going to the fountain? What's happening?
I would like to swing by the fountain one more time.
All right. So you make your way back down. You don't encounter anyone. You get back down to the bottom of the hill. And I'm just going to assume that you guys are looking around for anything that you might have missed or anything that might have changed.
Mm-hmm.
But everything seems to be completely like it was the day before. Weather's a little bit different. It's a little bit darker. Looks like it definitely might rain a little more seriously today. And as you go and make your loop around the fountain, nothing seems to be any different there either. There are a few people, kind of wandering through, very few at this time of day. Again, sort of slowly working their way towards the Temple of Eldzik, or what was the Temple of Eldzik, now pretty much taken over by the followers of Keltron. And that's it. That's all you know.
So, how do we get to Old Town?
You could, probably the most direct route is to follow the Temple Way back down, and then slip into Old Town.
Isn't that where
Now-
we got into trouble before?
It is where you got into trouble before. That's Graham said that you didn't have to worry about the arbiters, whatever that meant. Presumably, the arbiters are kind of guarding the high cobble side of the border, and she did suggest that you try to sneak in at night.
At night.
So do we really want to spend the day doing something else and then go in at night?
Well, how long would, because we got in through these sewers before, so how long would it take us to go back to that and the
Oh,
go back through there?
Yeah, the way that you got in before was kind of way farther south or north, sorry, into Old Town. So it'd be a ways off, and you'd basically have to make your way through even more heavily populated part of town.
Mm,
to
all
get
right.
to the flesh market.
Should we check out some of these empty temples?
You could.
I mean, it'd be worth it, I think, if we find something. And if it's not, then it's not. But we could go through it quickly.
You could.
So we're
So-
gonna spend the day looting temples.
That seems
Okay.
really off
Looting.
mission.
Yeah.
Okay, so question though, when we entered the prison, that was what kind of on the border of Horncliffe and Old Town,
hmm
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
right?
Yeah.
And then basically we just kind of skirted past the Dread Gate and all that stuff to come up in High Cobble.
Right.
Mhm.
So you're saying though that so we're in High Cobble. If we come up, I mean, so they're gates. Like we go walking to wherever High Cobble meets Old Town, we think that it's being guarded by these arbiters.
Yeah.
Is that,
That's what you assume based on what Graham said. Madame Tuvari, I should stop calling her Graham, but
and so what we think if we say, hey, we want to head past into Old Town, they might be disagreeable.
No, not them. The Old Town people who are apparently capturing everybody, and that's different. And those people.
Coming back from Old Town to High Cobble could be an issue, but we also have the issue of being strangers in Old Town.
Well, I
Mhm.
mean, right.
That's a more immediate problem.
Because when we went to the bathhouse and then ended up kind of running from there,
Mhm.
and then we saw the gladiator guy and all that. So we know that there's a bunch of really dangerous, powerful people there, but they're going to be there no matter what. So if our mission's to go in, then we just, I mean, it becomes a stealth mission. We just try to just keep off the main roads and
Can
Yeah.
you disguise yourself, perhaps, Alar?
I'm a master of disguise, among other things.
Of course.
Actually,
Uh,
let me check my stats and see if that's true.
So in because Old Town on the map is a really large area.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Where are the flesh markets in Old Town?
That is a good question.
It's kind of that big open area in the southern tip of Old Town.
Okay.
so kind of
so-
in the middle, like literally almost to the Dread Gate.
Yeah.
So if
Okay.
we just came marching out of High Cobble, we would be kind of in the area of Old Town where we need to be.
Roughly, yeah. It's not too far away. And what I would probably do, out of game, obviously, just say what you would have to roll for stealth to get past or get through Old Town safely would probably be a little bit higher. That's probably how I would handle it than if you were trying to go in at night.
Hmm.
But you guys are pretty stealthy as
No,
a
I'm
as a
not
group.
stealthy.
I guess I don't feel like we can just waste another day.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's not on mission, as much as Gregor loves looting and finding valuable stuff,
Yeah.
self-preservation right now is more important. So
You could, take a quick survey of the temple area if you wanted to.
I was more trying to find someone else that could be possibly hiding there.
Oh, okay.
You
A
know,
spare priest,
well,
spare
spare
priest
cleric,
hanging
just
around. Yeah.
hanging
Yeah.
out.
Forgot my
I mean,
keys.
the only
Just-
other idea, right? That we I mean, there's obviously people here. Maybe somebody else knows about this priest and try going door to door around the fountain area and say, hey, have you
Hey,
seen
do you know the Priest of Secrets now? How about
well,
you? You know the
we're
Priest
looking
of
for the old
Secrets?
blind guy with the cane who takes baths here sometimes. You guys know who he
It's
is?
kind of memorable. It kind of is.
A little bit. I mean, to me, it seems like it would stand out, especially these times.
Yeah.
So do a little gather information, maybe. Would that?
You can.
That seems so hopeful. So let's not.
I mean, I would let you, you could roll, I could roll, whatever you want to do. I'm happy to do that.
Okay.
We're just all sitting here looking at each other.
Hmm.
I guess if we were to, I mean, I'm just trying to figure out like if pass without a trace is something that can't be tracked except for magical means.
So what if you detected magic back at the rest stop up the mountain?
You know, as far as being tracked, if we do go through Old Town, passing
for
without
us.
a trace.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And
That's
that
a
way
good
we
one.
can't really be tracked.
Yeah.
Unless it's magical means, but we would have to be like have a plan to where we're going in there, not just kind of aimlessly around. But if you think that, how far would it get to get through the prison again? You think that would take the whole day? It's underground to the tunnels.
Yeah, I mean, you would have to go through that cemetery again, and then you would be pretty much the same distance away that you are if you were to, go there from High Cobble. So it
Yeah.
seems like you're backtracking a little too far.
I think it would. That's
that
too
doesn't-
big of a loop.
Right, but there's no. I mean, we're already in High Cobble, and we did all that to get past the Arbiters. So it seems like they would let us out if we just wanted to go waltzing into Old Town. Since I don't know, assuming we're still kind of standing here at the top of this overlook, trying to come up
Sitting on the
with
fountain.
what to
yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And if the plan is like screw it, we're just going to go to Old Town. Is there a way to semi-safely just descend the cliff and get to Old Town
From the top of the cliff.
from the top? Is it sheer? Is it something we could scale without?
The cliff would lead you to down bottom, so you would still have to,
Or death.
or sudden instant death.
Brokos, have you ever seen a giant eagle?
Yes,
I
can you
have, but I do not have the
transform?
skill to transform into one.
Um,
Perhaps if I was to level up at a faster rate.
Well, I mean,
Um,
we could go through down bottom though.
I guess I'm going to look at this way. Brocus is going to look at this way. I'm going to trust Triss or Kragar with this because you know this town. So I
That's a
would
fair
think that
point.
you probably know like how to make your way through, especially both of you, I guess, your jobs are kind of going through without being detected, right?
No, not my job. No.
But I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Kragar. I mean,
Yeah, well, that
that's
is
your
my
job.
I mean,
so how do you feel about that?
I think we would possibly be okay going through down bottom. It's the poor district. I don't know that we've heard who's in charge of it. But honestly, it seems like the most direct route is just to go walking up to the in between High Cobble and Old Town. It sounds like that's the shortest route.
I say we
Let's-
just do it and
Let's do it.
we run into what we run into. Adventure awaits.
We haven't killed anybody in a day or so, so it's probably
he's getting
due.
the itch. He's got to scratch it sooner or later, right?
Yeah, I mean, we'll just
Great.
gotta. I don't know if you have a disguise.
That's what serial killers say, Kragar. Just saying.
Just saying. You and Ted Bundy, all one happy
We'll
family.
just cloak it up and not look conspicuous.
All right.
Let's go.
Okay. So you end up marching back down the Temple Way, running into small groups of people, very similar to what you encountered the day before. A very downtrodden bunch, and you eventually arrive at the area and go past the road that would lead you to Madame Tuvari's, and past where you cross the major mad dash across the Temple Way to avoid the arbiters when you first encountered them.
You guys want pass without a trace? It lasts for an hour. You think we're good?
I don't think we need it
Through
right now.
the city, I don't think we need to worry about it. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to be tracked. I think that we're just going to be
Spotted.
spotted or ambushed more than anything.
Yeah. What cloak did you end up wearing, Kragar? Just asking for no reason.
Asking for a friend.
Wow.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if we're trying to, he does like that red cloak. It's got a nice look to it, but we're trying to be, discreet. He probably will roll that up and then put his black cloak on.
Okay.
A little bit bummed that they can't get the clasp off, but we'll get that figured out.
We'll work on that later. So you march down and eventually arrive at the boundary with Old Town. Ahead, you see a barrier of rubble where two large structures that were apparently damaged by the bombardment from the Dreadgate have had their debris piled in the middle of the road, with just a narrow gap to get across the other side. A large contingent of armored men and women wearing the green and gold tabards of the Arbiters stand at attention on either side of the broad avenue. A few eyes gravitate toward your strange procession, but otherwise they stay rigidly in place and watch as you pass.
Okay.
So
Cool.
you enter Old Town, and you're going to try to stealth your way.
I mean, should we ask for like wrist stamps so we can come back through?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Are you going to try to talk to them? Or are you just passing through?
I'm going to talk to them.
Yeah, I'm like,
Good day, arbiters. In the name of Caltron, please give us assistance. If we should need to return this way, would there be a problem? Is there some passphrase that we could use?
Someone, the person you're addressing kind of looks around and they look towards someone else farther down the line, and a woman steps forward. She looks to have a very stern, serious expression on her face.
Oh, so kind of different than all the rest. Yeah.
Yeah, very different. The others are all smiling and
Mhm.
stuff. No, very stern bunch. She comes forward and looks you up and down and says, "If you pledge to offer neither injury nor injustice during your stay here, you can come and go with Keltron's righteous blessing."
Of course.
Huzzah! Of course we pledge
Right.
this.
we're all about justice.
Just
Okay.
us.
Just.
I
You
mean,
said
can we-
just us, right? That's
Yeah.
what you said.
That's what he
Can we
meant.
get one of those blessings in advance? Might be useful.
The first one's free. It's a taste.
Just a taste. Okay, so she gives you a curt nod and returns back to the formation and is
I will bow with a flourish.
all right. That sounds awesome. So sounds
should
like
do
you
that
guys
more.
might be able to get back in.
See, no problem.
Okay.
Easy peasy.
All right. So you enter Old Town. I'm gonna have you guys roll stealth since I assume you're gonna try to be stealthy about it. And why don't you?
Yeah.
Basically,
25.
we want to do, stick to the alleys wherever we can.
Yep.
Stay off the main roads.
Okay. And why don't you
Ooh.
roll perception too at the same time?
So 24 stealth.
I
I
got 10.
beat you, Kragar.
You did. Ooh.
Okay. I am so impressed with my creeping abilities that I notice nothing else.
So my stealth was 10, but my perception is 19.
Nice.
And so
You're
I got,
watching me too.
and I got a 16 perception. So at least
I as well got a 16 perception, but my stealth, I swear I tripped on something.
Brokos.
I'm just walking out ambly in the middle of the.
Oh
the
my
road.
gosh.
I am like a gawker. I just cannot get enough.
uh,
A 5.
Wow. Look
Yeah.
at this.
You're making us look like tourists.
Maybe that's good. Who knows? So
There's so much flesh in this market.
So I'm going to say the combination of Triss's perceptive eyes and ears with the stealth of Alar and Kragar, you guys manage to enter Old Town, and using the back alleys and some of the damaged buildings and structures, it's slow going, but again, you're not in a big hurry. It's more about getting there safely. So you're willing to sacrifice that extra time to do so in a way that allows you to pass without being noticed or harmed by anyone. And you do know, Triss manages to point out at the last second a couple of roving bands of mostly young people who obviously are out looking for trouble. They're, armed with improvised weapons. You can hear them kind of taunting each other and, egging each other on, and,
Kids these days.
yeah, just roving gangs out looking to club somebody. And, but you managed to avoid them thanks to her advanced warning.
You're
And,
welcome.
you make it to the flesh market, and you notice far less foot traffic, no movement, no nothing. The closer you get to the actual flesh market area, the less noise and disturbance you hear from others around, and it really feels sort of like a ghost town, and you're just sort of processing that and thinking about what it could all mean when the smell first hits your nose. Wafting in on an errant, swirling breeze, the stench of death and decay is suddenly overpowering. As you cross the next intersection, you can see a large open space ahead.
Okay.
So you think you've arrived
What
at
do
the
we
edge of the flesh market.
We will approach cautiously.
Yeah. I was like, is there another? I mean, we could maybe try to get a vantage point, climb on through a building or something. But
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay.
I mean,
Uh,
is this kind of like like a big open? Obviously, the flesh market's been around. I mean, is this like a bazaar with booths or like auction blocks or like?
yeah, all that. Lots of people would set up little booths and things, little shops, little tents. Normally would be full of that sort of thing, along with some entertainment and beggars and gawkers and all kinds of stuff. Right now, it just appears what you can see is just kind of a vast, empty area.
So like it's shut down, is what you're saying.
Basically, yeah.
We don't like.
Are
there's
there
no
storefronts
crowd.
around the square?
Yeah, there are storefronts around the perimeter, more permanent structures,
Mhm.
for sure. And as you approach and try to get a little closer look, you see that everything kind of almost looks like it sinks in towards this central cluster of blocky buildings, kind of in the middle. You can probably see that on the map as
Yeah.
well.
Okay. Should we approach that? What do you think? Do you want to approach that building and see if the smell gets stronger? It's going to mean leaving cover.
Not really.
If you get up to the edge of the buildings, on this road that you're approaching from, I mean, it's kind of cloudy, dark, drizzly day, and you can see to the other side, but probably a lot of stuff could be lost in the haze on the far side. So if someone was trying to track you, I mean, it doesn't feel as exposed as it might be on a nicer day or a
Okay.
sunnier day. And I mean, it's just like really strangely empty. This whole area of town is just very oddly, eerily empty.
Well, let's try to make our way across to that central block of buildings
Yeah.
then.
Okay, so I don't know if somebody wants to share the map. I'm looking at the map, and when you say central block of buildings, like on this map, there's like what looks like kind of a large open area, and there's a little blob in the middle. Is that what you're talking about?
The
Yeah.
blob.
And so it looks like there are a lot of different side streets that kind of go around that all point towards the middle. I mean, could we circle around and take one of those alleys to get us
Here, why don't we share it
instead
on
of stroll? Yeah, so there we go. Do the weatherman routine. So instead of like strolling up from the bottom,
I like it.
and like going right down, to that big open area where we have no protection.
Yeah, I assumed you were kind of coming in from the sort of the side, not all the way towards the bottom.
Okay, that was where I'm not really.
No, I don't.
No, you're
no.
totally off.
You're
there.
way off,
I
man.
have no idea. You know how hard this is to do a reverse? And I mean, weathermen have a much better monitor to look at.
Yeah. Well, you make it look really difficult. So.
Oh, thanks. Welcome. We just fight something soon.
Okay, so if we are in fact coming up through one of those side streets, and then we just have to kind of cross a little ways, I guess then that is what it is. But
yeah.
So our goal here is we're looking for this guy Joffrey, who may or may not have been seen here.
Yeah, we're sort of guessing that he's been captured, and we're looking for where they're keeping the prisoners. That's
Well,
sort
he
of what
may
I'm.
just be a dead body now. In the
Yeah,
middle.
And
and
that's
like
what I suspect. Yeah.
The sense of this is like somebody cleaned house. But okay, let's go. Yeah, tightly together, facing all directions, weapons out, maybe.
Yeah, I think
like
so.
a rat king on
Like
Tuesday.
I like yeah.
Oh, it's already
the
happening.
hairs on the
Look.
back of my
Happening.
neck are just
Okay.
How's that?
There, that's better, man.
Ah, yes.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
It's a big old map. So you approach this central cluster of buildings. Now, upon closer inspection, you realize that the buildings are mere facades, simple structures built around large platforms to better showcase the seller's humanoid wares. You've arrived at the infamous flesh market, where untold thousands have been stripped of their freedom.
Hmm.
Now, as you're looking, I'll also say, a place with such terrible history would obviously seem like a perfect target for a vengeful city.
Mhm.
But despite a few crudely painted albatross drawings here and there, you're surprised to see the buildings are very much intact. And that's when you notice the other oddity. Lumpy mounds piled on and around the structures. And when you get closer, you can see that these strangely familiar forms are recognizable. It takes your brain a few moments to process all of the information of what you're seeing. But all of these mounds, things hanging from signposts and lampposts and awnings of these structures, all bodies. Some layered haphazardly like stack of freshly split cordwood, others swaying in the cold breeze. Men, women, bulging eyes, elongated purple tongues protruding from slack jaws, hundreds, maybe even thousands of corpses, some fresh, but most not, creating a sickly miasma of bile and rot that can make stomachs churn miles away. The horror of this scene overwhelms your senses.
so this isn't a fresh massacre. So now I'm really confused because if that guy was here recently, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. What you see is the various states of decomposition
Ah,
that this has been ongoing.
this is the dumping place.
Yep. This could have started the night of the uprising and just been going on in fits and starts for the past several months. But yeah, the smell is horrific, and the scene is something that even as kind of world weary as some of you are, and some of the stuff you've seen so far, I mean, it's pretty traumatic, and you're amazed that the people of this city are capable of this kind of atrocity. But I mean, at least on this scale, you understand the rage, you understand what led to the uprising, but this is like a whole other level. So I'm imagining you all kind of eagerly rushing across this open space, trying to stay out of sight, and then seeing this and actually having to stop and sort of process it all. But it's, a terrible thing to behold.
Well, now what?
Now what?
I mean, is
So
it likely that anybody's spending time here?
you would guess not. It's difficult to even force yourself to get closer to it just from the stench alone. But there's a small complex of buildings in there, and it's possible Joffrey is still being held somewhere in this small group of buildings, or maybe he is dead.
Hmm.
It looks pretty grim either way.
Well,
mean,
we should
even-
go. We should go check it out then.
The buildings around the center square.
The central compound.
'Kay.
That's where we're headed, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that's where we were.
Yeah, you're approaching it, and that's when you notice the bodies, and that's where the stench is coming from that you can smell, way back earlier on your approach. So you begin to gingerly make your way through the buildings, through the piles of corpses, trying illogically not to disturb them. You eventually realize that many of the more recent victims occupy the platforms of these structures. There, the focus seems to have been more to maximize and extend the suffering as much as possible. Many of the bodies have been horribly mutilated: burns, strips of missing flesh, gouged eyes, and even more unpleasant forms of disfigurement.
This is terrible.
Amongst the carnage of the broken and dismembered, you catch a glimpse of yellow hair fluttering mindlessly in the breeze.
Let's
Okay,
go
I'll
check it
approach
out.
I'll
Yeah.
approach the corpse.
Okay.
Is he gaudily dressed?
As you approach the location, being careful to avoid the many puddles of fluids and viscera,
Thanks, Jerry.
you see the golden hair as attached to a nearly middle-aged man, tall and thin, but not athletically so, who lies splayed across the bed of a broken cart. A cornflower-colored silk tunic, now liberally stained with blood, has been torn open to expose the pale and vulnerable skin beneath. Strips of dark red crisscross the man's nearly hairless torso, where thin layers of flesh have been slowly cut away. The man's bright gold jacket, with delicate purple embroidery, hangs from one limp arm. Once upon a time, you imagine the brightly colored jacket would have complemented the man's flaxen hair, and his light blue tunic would have accentuated his eyes that now stare blankly towards the sky.
Jerry, can I ask you a question?
It's been a
Who
long
hurt
pandemic.
you, Jerry? Who hurt you?
Yeah.
So I don't think we can heal this guy.
Even if we had a priest, which we don't.
Might be beyond help.
I
at
only
this
have
point.
second level heal.
So,
I don't think this will do it.
how?
Yeah.
When do we
how
think he
old?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do a medicine check.
Yeah.
It does look like he's been here for at least 3 or 4 days.
Mm,
About when Graham thought that
Okay.
he should have been home but wasn't.
so
Um,
we search him?
Yeah, I think we should. We have to.
All right. You feel around the jacket's cuffs. I assume that's what you're looking for, the secret
Yeah.
pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that she talked about.
After some careful examination, you find the small, hard cylinder, and a little more probing leads you to the small flap that covers the hidden pocket. You manage to extricate the bone cylinder, but before you can remove the message inside, you hear a strange noise, like a slow, wet thud, followed by other noises, vaguely reminiscent of a busy butcher's shop. You see the bodies near the platform begin to move and undulate, and suddenly a massive head bursts from the mound of rotting flesh. Gore-covered pincers clack wildly as a mass of wriggling tentacles begin to whip back and forth. And now's where we roll for initiative.
What the hell? I don't like this.
Okay. So put it up on your maps. Someone
Ugh,
want to share it for our viewers?
I don't think they should have to see this.
It's pretty
Sure.
gruesome.
It's not as bad as in my head. So
I was gonna make it like way worse, and then I thought, you know, they'll get the point, right? They'll.
yeah. Thanks, Jerry.
So I tried to spare you, but yeah, like I said, it's been a long pandemic. I'm gonna take it out on you guys, I guess.
Here, I can share the screen.
Awesome. And
Perfect.
let's see, you guys all able to control your characters?
Looks like it. Well, I
Okay.
can.
Yeah, there you go. Turn order.
Okay.
14 for me.
Should have probably brought this up a little bit sooner,
What?
because I assume who entered the platform?
So,
Well, where's the were we up on the platform? Is that where the body was?
Yeah,
Up top.
right there.
I mean, we were probably
Oh.
all up there.
Yeah, I was definitely up there.
I mean, that
and
was
I
all.
said I was up there, so
So
Okay. Brokos, what did you get?
24, a natural 20. I'm sorry, 23, natty 20.
Wow.
I'm assuming you were up there by us, Brokos.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
were sticking
I'm just-
together.
Okay, so we have Brokos with his 23, Alar with a 14, the strange creature with a 12, Kragar with a 9, and Triss with a 6. Sorry, Triss.
yeah.
But that is our turn order. And Brokos, you're up. You see this
I-
creature pop
yeah.
out of his mounded bodies.
I will have you do a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, nice. 10?
You are paralyzed. I cast hold purse upon you, and you are paralyzed.
Doesn't that need to be person?
Yeah.
What?
Hold person, right?
Creature?
Whole creature's a higher level, man.
Let's see. Choose a humanoid. Oh, sorry. Are you a humanoid? I'll ask him politely.
Excuse me.
Sorry. That will make it easier then. I will cast. How far away is it from me?
5 feet.
5
yeah.
feet? I mean, I don't know if we're up on the platform or not.
Yeah, you are up on the platform, and I'd say the platform's probably about 6 feet off the ground.
All right. I am going to do what I do, and I will cast bark skin on myself, and then I will turn it into a brown bear,
Oh.
Ooh,
large
Ooh.
creature.
Interesting. There, you're large, so you
And
match
then-
the creature.
Yep. And then I will come tumbling down here, and then roar, and then that's my turn.
Okay. And Alar, you're next. You see your comrade in arms here transform into a large, shaggy brown bear and go stomping off down the stairs and lets out a challenging roar to this creature.
I am going to step back and strum my lute and cast sleep upon the creature.
Interesting.
I always have trouble discerning which map is the real map.
That is a problem. That is-
9, 19, and so 24 hit points. Does it have less than 24 hit points?
It does not.
Okay, it takes no effect then.
Okay. Worth a shot.
Worth a shot.
Anything else you're doing?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Creature's turn. So it is going to, let's see, it's going to lash out at this bear with one of its tentacles, and I believe it has 10-foot reach. And that is I think a 21?
I would imagine that hits most things.
It probably
Yeah.
does. Let's see. I have to make sure I'm getting the right attack here. Oh, yeah, it's even higher than that. 23. And Brokos,
Mhm.
you take 4 poison damage, and you have to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. So I get my bear up here.
Bear power.
My bear power.
Let's see what you get. Otherwise, you may
I'm
suffer for it.
poisoned. Natty 20. So it's a 23.
Nice.
I'm a bear. Grr.
You are a bear. Pretty tough bear, too,
Oh, yeah.
apparently.
4 points, you said?
4 points of poison damage, but you managed to avoid the longer term effects of the poisoning.
I've
so-
eaten worse.
Good for you. And it's going to move up here and attack Triss.
No.
And it's going to try to bite you with its little buggy mouth. And that's going to be a 12.
That does not hit.
Does not hit. And that's all it's going to do. Kragar, you're up.
Oh, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Uh,
You kind of have to wade into this mound of bodies in order to get close enough, unless you.
well,
Jerry.
okay. So what I want to do is basically, I'll do it one step at a time. You tell me if I can. I want to kind of leap there.
Okay.
And go there would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Yeah, that's all doable.
Okay. So basically, I just kind of hop down, drawing my rapier, circle around behind it, so that I can get advantage with Triss, and try to impale it with my first long attack.
All right. So you skirt around the outer edge of this pile of corpses and manage to arrange yourself for an attack.
Yep. And I miss with my rapier. Oh my god. I rolled a 2, and then I rolled another 2.
You've been on a little bit of a streak lately. I'm worried about you.
You should have seen the 20s coming out of this die on Friday.
Mm.
I bet.
Mm,
Depends on which side of the table you're sitting on.
it is
That's
the problem.
so maddening.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's it.
Okay. Triss, you see Kragar run up behind, and
Oh,
so you're
wait,
not
hold
flanking.
on. I had advantage,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, that's what you did
Oh,
that
yeah.
fancy dance for.
Yep.
So that would be a 2 and 2. So my rapier would still have missed, but I still could attack with my dagger.
Yeah, go for her.
Sorry,
Roll again.
I was denying myself my dagger attack. And there's the 20.
There you go.
Really?
Yes.
Nice.
I rolled a third 2 on the same die, and on the second die, it got a 20.
Awesome.
So that would be a crit with my dagger.
Okay. Tell me what you do. What's the damage?
Okay. Denying myself good stuff here. Dagger is D4.
Adding it up. Carry the 1.
That'd be 20 points of damage.
Whoa.
Holy cow.
On a dagger? Oh, that's right. You get sneak attack.
Yeah.
The first round of combat, I get my
Yeah, I forget
and
all
my
that
and my
juicy
my
stuff.
rogue, my bugbear first round of combat bonus.
Good gravy. Yeah,
Oh.
that's pretty brutal.
That dagger's pretty powerful.
Oh, okay. I feel a little better now. All right, Tris,
Oh.
kill it.
Yeah, Triss, you see Kragar sneak up, and instead of missing, he manages to land that dagger attack.
Nice.
And does some
It was
pretty
just
significant
fainting.
damage.
It looked like he was missing
Yeah.
horribly, but really it was a setup.
Yeah, there was all that the flourish with the rapier. And
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was spectacular.
Yes, we're all impressed. All right, I'm going to do a bonus action to do Searing Smite,
Ooh,
Which- potentially adds
On.
adds fire damage and lights him on fire if I make a hit. So
nice.
then I am going to attack with my rapier,
Okay,
and that is a 16.
that is a hit.
Yes. Okay. Whew. Okay. So there's too many things open. I don't know how to close this now. Okay, there we go. So that is So that is 10 damage
Nice.
plus the 2d6 for so
It's too much damage. This poor creature.
then 7 fire damage,
Okay.
and then at the start of each of its turns until the spell ends, and I can keep it 1 minute. It has to do a Constitution saving throw or take more fire damage.
Wow. That's
Oh,
pretty awesome.
and I get another attack. There's no-
Use your bonus action to cast a spell.
Oh, you're right. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so I'm done.
The one downside with so I think to myself,
actually real quick, because I didn't double my damage for getting a crit. So actually there would have been 9 more damage if sorry.
Okay. I will do it this time
This one
dies
time-
on this. We'll be
That
really
might be my
disappointed.
mulligan for the
Yeah.
for the episode.
for the okay. So this creature burst out, and it's hard to tell where some of the stuff that it was crawling through versus some new wounds, and but it's like liberally spraying ichor from various wounds now, and looks to be really, really hurt. So good job. And it's now Brokos the bear's turn.
So I think for a quick second, is Triss a paladin? And then I take 5-foot step forward, and we're gonna get a couple attacks as a bear.
Nice.
Well, that is going to be a 16.
That is a hit.
And you've got advantage now too, right? Because we're all engaged with it.
I don't know. I don't get any certain advantage besides being straight across, flanking someone? Am I flanking?
No.
No, it doesn't look
Yeah, I
like
wouldn't
it.
think so.
You're not?
You can draw a line
Okay.
between the two of us.
Yeah. From your bottom right square to her square?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't roll an natty 20 anyway, so I still hit off of that. Either way, so
Okay.
that first attack did 12 points of damage. I take a bite into him, numb, 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 and then second would be a 17 to hit.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take my claws and rear up and claw at him and do 14 points of damage.
14
cow.
points. Wow.
Yeah. And
so-
I roar while I'm doing it.
So you basically, your bare paws come down on top of the creature's back and crush it down into this mound of bodies and just start scratching and clawing, and you quickly tear through the outer carapace of this very whatever buggy type creature, insectoid creature, and start tearing out large chunks of the fleshy stuff beneath that, and it dies.
It looks
Very-
like
Really?
it's awful, but actually it tastes quite good. The Ichor, it's a little gamey, but
It's a little gamey. Well, you know what it's been feeding on. So
Yeah, right. So I get up
Ah.
on my hind legs and do like a little dancing bear, like
No. No, Brokos, no.
Oh, that could be that could be part of the act.
yes.
The fact that
It
you
could
haven't
be.
taken that
Anybody have a unicycle?
right.
I'm
yeah.
just saying, read the audience, Brokos, and they're all dead. So inappropriate.
That's what I get for trying to impress you, Alar.
Alar.
Well, that was horrible.
that was pretty horrible.
And the monster was horrible too.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
that was this is a bad place.
Okay, so the creature is down, and you see Bear Brokos tearing through the carapace and tearing out large chunks of it, and stuff's flying everywhere. And it's obviously dead, and takes him a while to sort of calm down, but finally does, and is kind of chuffs at you a little bit, in his bear form. And the battle is now over. And you guys now can kind of take in what has happened, and realize just how horrific all of this is. I mean, obviously you knew it before, but it's bad news. And these Old Town people, something's seriously wrong with them. And as you're pondering your victory and thinking about your next steps and how soon you want to get out of this place, you hear a strange noise.
Uh-oh.
Not the wet, crunching sound from before,
Ugh.
but a hoarse, whispering voice saying, "Sorry." At the edge of the platform, near a short stairway, you see a dark-skinned body chained to the railing. You approach the figure, wondering if it was the source of the strained apology, when another "I'm sorry" escapes from its rough, dry throat. A racking cough follows soon afterwards, and the muscular body strains against the gleaming chains with every spasm. After the fit subsides, the body hangs limply with its head down.
I approach it with some water.
You approach with the water, and as you inspect the figure and try to make your offer of fluids, sudden realization dawns on you. You recognize this man. The bronze skin, short dark hair, and broad shoulders belong to the soldier you left behind, the deserter who was seeking his lost sister, the former sinless officer named Piers Reichel.
Oh, poor Piers.
Yeah, well, we warned him.
Okay, I check his pulse. Is he actually yet alive, or
He is still alive.
okay? I will give him. No, I won't. Brokos, We need healing, quickly.
I roll my brown bear eyes and come out of my form of a brown bear, and I will cast Cure Wounds on him.
All right. So
And
That
I will let him
is
down.
11 points. He will be healed.
nice.
Yeah.
As you
Hopefully we don't need that.
as you free him from his chains and gently tend to his wounds, he once again begins to whisper, "I'm sorry." And he repeats this over and over like a mantra. And suddenly, something else can be heard. Almost lost in the sound of Pierre's rambled apologies, footfalls echo across the open market, and you barely catch a glimpse of a small figure as it runs between two narrow buildings on the far side. Moments later, you hear the clattering ring of a bell, 4 sharp clangs, followed by a brief pause and 4 more staccato notes. In the distance, off to the north, you can hear another larger, deeper bell answer. Word is quickly spreading. Soon the flesh market will be crawling with members of the OFU.
Time to go.
Okay.
Still silly, Jerry.
I am so immature. I don't know when I will mature mentally, but I don't expect it anytime soon.
So we're gonna grab Pierce
We'll
and
grab Pierce and throw him over my shoulder somewhat
skedaddle.
roughly.
Awesome.
Carry him like
I'm
a
just
sack
going
of
to have you
potatoes.
guys repeat your stealth and perception rolls.
Not nearly as good on stealth.
18 and 19, respectively.
I
Not
got
bad.
12 and 20.
No,
So
that's
I
pretty
got
good.
15 on stealth and 13 on perception.
Okay.
It takes a while to get out of beast form
Oh, good lord.
and like get really focused. So 10 stealth and 6 perception.
Oh, wow. He's like
And
roaring.
I have a
the
pretty high
bear is
bonus
running.
on both of them, just to let you know. So
That's pretty bad. But I think overall, you guys at least were in the same realm as you were before.
I'm able to steer Brokos the right way and no, over
I'm
here.
I'm still half bear. That's what maybe I'm too
Yeah.
loud.
You're just roaring the whole time. You
Got bear legs still.
you take off, headed back the way that you came, and you end up managing to avoid all of the chaos. You can still hear the bells, and there are more of them now. Obviously, there's some sort of system set up, and they are ringing all over Old Town now, alerting everyone that there are intruders. So you get back to the border with High Cobble and manage to run through, carrying Piers back through the wall of debris. And you see a similar group of stationary guardians on your way back in. And you can hear the peal of the bells behind you, and obviously they can hear that as well. And this time, a number of their heads turn to assess you. And a thick-set man with a brutish face steps forward into your path and says, "Halt!
We
What
do
is your
solemn-
business
We
in
do
High
solemnly
Cobble?"
swear to do no damage or harm by the name of Kaltros or whatever. You know,
And we've been busy
Whatever.
dispensing justice today.
yes.
So he's going to take this in. I'm going to have somebody roll persuasion here. You got it?
There's
Yeah.
only one person who's meant for this.
Yep. Because I have a +7, but can we? No, guys, can you see it?
I can't see
Yeah.
The 1.
Oh,
Oh,
I could have done better than that.
That's a total of 8. Thank you, but
it.
dang it.
can we aid?
This is my time to shine, and I botch it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I hear you botch it, or do you just want to roll? Or can I hear you verbally botch it?
Sounds good to us.
we're all on board here.
The floor is yours, Alar.
We are the arbiters of justice, and
Gosh.
we will do no justice unto all of you. We so swear.
So as you're rambling on, trying to remember the name of the god that they follow, you
By the Lord Caltrop, we will not.
you see that this man is now he has like one eyebrow raised, and as you're rambling on in front of him, trying to get your wits back, you realize he's got kind of a half smirk on his face. And while he's smirking at you, you realize there's an assemblage of Old Town ruffians that have gathered just on the other side of this rubble barrier. And you can see that the twin lines of the arbiters appear way more tense than they were just moments before, but they still are holding their formation, looking at this man who you suddenly now recognize as Baldric Greylock, the High Magistrate that you spoke to the day before.
Oh.
So,
Oh, hi, Baldric. Good to see you.
he looks at you and he's like, "Did you have any luck finding your cleric?"
Not yet.
And he says, what is it? What is the issue with this person here?" And he points to the body of Pierce that Craigar's carrying.
He's one of the poor, sick people that I'm sure you can help.
We have rescued him from the flesh market.
He was left for dead. Totally unjust, I may say.
So he looks thoughtful for a moment, and he looks across the barrier, and you can tell he's sort of weighing what you've told him and judging you and judging the group of people on the other side who appear to be
So
mostly
much judgment.
yeah, lots of judgment
That's
going
what
on.
they
All
do.
the judgment.
Yeah. So he's weighing it in his mind, and he's, he is pretty shrewd. He has been doing this for a while. And he just kind of looks at you, and you can see that he's trying not to roll his eyes, and he says, "All right, offer neither injury nor injustice during your stay, and go with Keltron's righteous blessing."
Caltron, that's his name. That's right.
Ah,
Will do.
have a nice day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
we
as you're
hurry past.
walking away, you hear him shout, "Form up, arbiters of Keltron! Prepare to disperse this rabble!" And you can see, even before the ranks of armored men and women can turn around and reorient themselves, the Old Town mob begins to drift away, leaving only angry shouts and ugly threats in their wake. And, you guys made it back in, and you've got Pierce now.
Yay, team.
Yay. And a bone tube we need to read.
And the
Yeah.
bone tube. That's right.
Perhaps we
So,
should go back to Grams.
Oh, that's
Now
fine.
we can.
what are you going to do first?
I
Bone
think
tube?
we need to get cleaned up. We're covered in, most of us are covered in,
Core.
corpse filth.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You guys probably smell something.
To the fountain?
Oh, to the fountain. There you go.
There you go.
Could go to
Yeah,
the
let's go befoul the waters of the local fountain. That's a great idea.
fountain. Where we get all
This
of our
cleric's been
drinking water.
bathing in it. How come? I mean, it's already
That's
been
pretty-
fouled.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
it's
Yeah.
true.
Is that really what you're doing? Fountain or grams? I'm curious.
The fountain sounds
I-
like a great place.
Well,
Okay.
I think we need to find some kind of, we need to, I don't know. I mean, is Pierce stabilized now? Are we not worried about him? Does he have more
I
information?
think he had 11
Okay.
points
Yeah.
of healing, so he should.
I'll also, I have a herbalist kit, so I'll go ahead and make some medicine for him.
When you gather during your flight, he's trying to, soon afterwards, after everything clears up at the boundary here, you understand that Pierce feels really bad because obviously he told them about you when he was captured. He was tortured and told them that he was
Oh.
with you guys and you were working with this Wolf Canute person, and so
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why he's saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I thought
Yeah.
it was just because he failed his sister.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but
Ugh.
No,
we gotta
he
kill you.
recognized you guys, and obviously he's a soldier, so he's a little embarrassed that he broke under their torture and betrayed you, and so he's still feels really bad about it. Really bad. Are you going to look at that tube?
yes.
Okay. So there's a small scrap of parchment rolled up very tightly in this tube, and you pull it out, and you can just barely make out the very tiny writing. But it just says Book of Skulls, 823.
Great.
Wonderful.
Is that from the Harry Potter series? I'm not quite sure.
I don't have a
Book
copy of that.
Skulls.
Actually, that was the name of my high school band. So
Yeah. Book of Skulls.
yeah,
The 823 as well, or just the Book of Skulls?
yeah, the whole thing. It's
Mhm.
really weird.
Yeah.
I found it in your yearbook.
Yeah.
so-
That's
Someone's
it.
been Facebook stalking you, apparently.
Yeah.
Is that Ted or Alar speaking?
Yeah, I suppose Alar had to have a emo
What is
phase.
the
Yeah,
difference?
it's hard to tell anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So that's what the note says.
Okay.
Okay,
And to the fountain.
to the fountain.
To
Yeah.
the
Okay.
fountain.
So you guys make your way up the hill, and you get to the fountain and manage to clean yourselves up. Things look pretty much as they did earlier today, than the previous day. Fairly steady stream of people going into the temple, and very bedraggled. Lots of injuries. Piers, if you talk to him, he's like, I'm not, I'm fine. Thank you for the healing. I don't need any more healing from them. But I appreciate your help. You guys, saved my life. I don't know what I would have done. I still haven't found my sister yet, and I owe this.
Died there. That's what you would have done.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
true.
Yeah.
Been eaten by something.
Yeah.
So he's very appreciative after he gets pet through the whole apology phase and feeling bad. But you guys have rescued Piers.
So would you say you owe us one?
Yeah, he absolutely
Okay.
does.
Just want to clarify that you're in our debt. So
Definitely indebted to the four of you. And he asks if there's anything he can do. Is there anything
I'm
I
sure
can do to
there
help?
is. We'll give us a moment to think about it.
hunt
Okay.
down this cleric.
What cleric?
No, here it is.
The priest of Olander. Am I saying that right?
Olendar? Yeah.
Dar.
Olendar.
Olendar.
Dar.
Yeah.
Olendar.
I can't roll my R's, so I'll leave that up to you.
I can't either.
Olendar.
$1.
Starts to work its way into a cough eventually. So, yes, he's like, Olendar, you're looking for Galen.
Yes.
Of course we are.
Yeah. That's what we said.
It's like, yes, I've heard of the man. He supposedly knows all of the city's secrets, and people go to him if they can find him
Mm.
to learn things that when I was at my most desperate moment, trying to find out if my sister still lived, I tried to find him. I spent a week or more trying to track this man down. And I know he has something to do with this monument at the top of Bander's Leap. But I spent day and night waiting for him, and it's like he knew that I was waiting for him. No luck. What have you discovered? Anything?
No luck.
Have you been to the top of the cliff?
Yes, yes. I followed him one day, and the man just disappeared. I ran to the top.
Mm.
I'm in fairly good shape. There's no way that an old man who's half blind could beat me to the top, but there's nothing there.
Hmm.
Are
Yeah,
there any
no.
other clues?
You've seen obviously the plaque.
The plaque.
The plaque in the home. There's a house, a 3-walled house on the top of the cliff,
Yes, I'm familiar with it.
and there's a plaque in it.
What does the plaque say?
You've not seen the plaque? It says, first choose wisdom, and knowledge will come after the rest.
He looks thoughtful for a moment, confused, perplexed.
Yeah, same as us.
And he's like, I wonder, have you thought about that rest area halfway up?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sherlock. Yeah.
Wisdom comes first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that has anything to do with the symbols that are carved on the bench.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pierce.
What are the symbols, Pierce? In
Oh.
order.
Oh, well, wisdom, I would assume, is for the god of wisdom, Talorn.
Mm.
I can't remember what is on the bench, but there's a turtle. I think
Well-
that is the most common symbol for.
You want us to do something. Why don't you go and get that order then?
I think
If-
we're headed back up to the rest stop.
Yeah, that's what we're
Legs
doing.
are still burning.
You're going to come with us, and you're going to help us decipher that.
Okay, I can do that. But there's one thing you must know
Mm.
about Father Galen.
What?
Everything comes with a cost, and he will demand to know your deepest, darkest secret.
Knew it. Knew it, Jerry.
Cool.
And that's where we will end this episode.
Oh, so
I
I'm going to have
want
to think of a really
you-
dark secret.
Yeah, I
Uh-huh,
want you guys to
uh-huh.
have time to think about your deepest, darkest secrets.
I was actually thinking about that last session because I figured that was the prize.
we
think that
we are we are talking about our characters, right? So we don't miss.
Oh,
I don't want to spill anything.
I'll say one of each. One of each.
And that's how Dungeon Patrol ended.
Yep.
All right.
That's how we all went to jail. All right. Well, great job, guys.
Yeah.
I'm glad we finally got around. I totally would have let you fumble around for another episode. And hopefully discovered. I thought perhaps you could go back to the Temple of Eldzik and ask about symbology of the gods, and they would probably have that much information there and could tell you if you piece together the, wisdom bit. But
I must say, I will say that I did mention that the different gods.
yes, you were very close, and I thought,
I felt like we were.
yeah, I thought, oh, they're gonna get this, and
Then we-
Piers will just have to die in that flesh market, I guess. But
Good thing we got
um,
impatient.
yeah. Well, great job again, and thank you for a memorable episode 20. And we will see you all next time.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.